I have to say, guys, that I'm very impressed with Liam Rosenior so far. And even though he's been here for a short period of time, I can definitely see the potential that he has as a manager, because not only has he fantastic man management, play management, in-game management, but he also is blending his style with whilst adapting to the players he has in front of him and combines that. And he's also being quite creative, finding ways to get many of our best players and key players to start together. And that's going to be the main talking point in this video. But just before we're getting into my predicted lineup and all this kind of stuff, if you're brand new here, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my page, and hit that notification bell. We know that Cucurella is sidelined, and unfortunate, it is a not super bad hamstring injury, but quite a bad one. He's going to be out for a month, and he's going to miss the Burnley game, Arsenal and Aston Villa games that we have coming, and it's a huge loss. He has finally get back into his form. At the same time, it's a fantastic opportunity for Hato to now get minutes, step up, and show Rosenior what he is simply all about. We're going to have Sanchez in goal, no questions about it, and I'm so happy that he has stepped up, massively improving. In the backline, I will have James starting. I wouldn't see the reason why we should keep him on the bench when he is available for selection. He's not ill or injured anymore. The center back pairing for me will be Fofana and Chalobah. They're building a very good partnership together. And of course, we're going to trust Hato stepping in the absence of Cucurella. In the double pivot, we continue with continuity, Santos and Caicedo together, and they just being paired so well together, complement each other really well. We have maybe one of the best pivots in the league at the moment, and Santos is definitely Liam Rosenior's guy. And attacking front four is what's going to be my talking point, where it's actually fantastic how Rosenior has found a way to utilize all of these guys together. So we're going to have Pedro, Fernandes, Palmer, and Neto as the front four. Fernandes being actually utilized as a left winger. He starts there, but his role is more like an advanced playmaker, so he's functioning like a offensive midfielder, central midfielder who drops down, helping the pivot when they are in trouble and we need some help with linking the midfield to the attack. And that means we're having Palmer on this top of the sort of diamond, or what you want to call it, in the middle, and he has this free role where he can roam around because he sees the space he can move into like no one else can in this team. And it just becomes so difficult for the opponent to track Palmer. They don't know where he's going to move and show up and do next. So I have to give a lot of credit for Rosenior finding a way to utilize Fernandes, Palmer, Pedro, and even Pedro Neto together. I will actually start Neto ahead of Estevao. I think Estevao has been good, of course, but I want to continue in Neto's form after the game against Hull City in the FA Cup, where he scored a hat-trick. Now, against Hull, he was utilized in a new position as a number 10 role, but at the same time, we have Palmer operating there, but I wouldn't be against trying swapping them, because Palmer functioning maybe even better as a right winger when he has that natural overlap from a fullback, which will then be Reece James. So let me know what you would do in this lineup. Would you have Neto as the right winger or Palmer? And who would you pick as the number 10? I'm very impressed with how Leon Senior has found a way to utilize all these players, because maybe we would have had to leave out one of these players. For example, like Andre Santos, a pivot, and then moving Fernandes deeper. But now we can utilize Santos, Caicedo, Fernandes together, and also Palmer, Pedro, Neto, or sort of Esteval. And I think our attack is complementing each other really well, where Palmer is being this creative player that can also score, of course. We're having Enzo Fernandez, who's being the sort of linker that drops down, helps the pivot. We have Neto that has the pace in behind, and we know he can delivering decent crosses, cut inside and shoot, move in behind the opponent's backline with his pace. And then we're having João Pedro, who's just well-rounded and good at literally everything. Whether you want him to drop down, hold up the ball, whether you want him to drift wide, or move into the back line, or occupy one of the center backs. He can do all of that fantastically well. I will say though that I feel like maybe our left hand side will be slightly weaker, because we have a Hate or Cucurella bombing up that left hand side, and they are maybe not this type of left back like Davis or Balde is. Going to see if Hato can develop into a more attacking, offensive, threatful fullback. Otherwise, we have to see in the summer if we need to find a new sort of profile, and then we move Hato to becoming a centre back instead. So Burnley, they are sitting at 19th place. They are scrapped around 3-4 wins this season, having a very difficult time in Premier League, which is understandable. They are a newly promoted side. Scott Parker is trying to play a more cautious, defensive minded football. He has changed to a back five system, trying to be compact in the middle in a low block, as many teams are against us. But I don't think I'm that afraid of low blocks anymore like I was on the Maresca, because Rosenior has now been brave and changed stuff. He sees that if the opponent is dropping into a low block, playing a back five, then I have to overload the flanks as well, and not only the center of the pitch. So having flying fullbacks from time to time assisting our wingers or attacking players has transformed our attack really well. Of course, we maybe become a bit more vulnerable on direct transitions. Burnley is a side that likes to hit the opponent on direct balls to the forwards. But when you also have a lot of players going forward into the final third, the best thing you can do is to counter press, to gegenpress when you lose possession, because that means you have so many players close in proximity to each other, where you have a perfect opportunity to win the ball back quickly. And Burnley is a side that is very weak to teams that press aggressively. They have made lots of errors, played misplaced passes whilst being pressed high. So that is something that's going to play into our favor. In terms of a score prediction, I think we're going to win 3-0 and finally keep a clean sheet. I know we drew 2-2 to Leeds, but that was because of lapses of concentration. I think Leon Rosenior will not allow that to happen now. And I also think he has transformed our whole team for the better compared to how it was on the Maresca. I feel like we're so much more fluid and fretful going forward that the opponent won't be able to stop us. We will find ways to score goals. And if we score in the first one, Burnley will open up. That's going to suit us even more, and we're going to score more goals from there on. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, your score prediction, and what do you think of the lineup. And I will happily read that. And I thank you so much for watching. Chelsea Explains out. Bye.